Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie and you will see that I am wearing the same clothes as I have been in the last two videos, unless I switch them out a little bit. But I am filming another book haul because this is the most wonderful time of the year for me. And if you didn't know, and I've kind of told you about it, Wonderable, if you haven't seen or if you've been watching my videos regularly, that Bookoutlet.ca or .com for my American friends has discounted books, and then just after Christmas they have a huge Boxing Week sale that just makes those books even cheaper. And so I went a little crazy. Any of the other bookworms around, for my homeschool, I buy tons and tons of books. I try and get books that are older than my kids so that we can use them for several years. Sometimes I do get ones that are closer to their age, specifically for my Ceana, but I have 3 boxes here, so I'm super pumped and excited. So when I do my shopping on Bookoutlet.ca, I buy specifically with the gather round units that I have planned already in my head. So with that in mind, I will try and remember which ones I've planned for September of next year. That's how I do it. I just cannot wait until last minute. I always have to kind of prep ahead of time. And so then I already kind of have the books in my head, the ideas in my head, so that I can be planned and feel confident moving into each new unit. So we are going to be doing rocks and minerals, and I got this big box of rocks and minerals. My daughter has been collecting rocks. My middle child, my eldest daughter, she's been collecting rocks for forever. Her room is covered in open containers full of rocks that she's found that she got from kits. But I wanted one kit for Ceana, my youngest, who isn't as interested in that, but as we're talking about it in the lessons, I wanted her to be able to see this. So this will be the homeschool rock kit, and then if Inara wants to bring hers, then that's fine too. So she will definitely be enjoying that, and so will my youngest. There's so many things on my table right now. If we could take the magic from behind the thing and see everything, you would understand. So Art of the Northern Renaissance, Courts and Commerce and Devotion. These books specifically are regarding the Renaissance unit, which I am planning on doing next year, but it has lots about the paintings and stuff like that, and I wanted my girls to be able to learn about that stuff. But this is going to be a book that we can carry long after we are done, and that's what I like about buying books that are a little older for them. All right. So The Outdoor Scientist by Temple Grandin. She is an autistic lady who has just made a life for herself. And so I wanted to get one of her books specifically, but The Outdoor Scientist, we're going to be doing the unit of North America National Parks, I think is what it's called. And so I wanted one of these that has projects and stuff that the kids can do. We'll probably do this one more closer to fall or spring. I'm not really sure just yet. Lucy and Andy Neanderthal. Now these ones, you'll see a lot of comic books in here. These ones are made specifically for my daughter. She struggles with reading because of her eye therapy issues. I will again leave a link down below in case you are wondering what that was all about. But she struggled to read, and so there is a resistance to liking reading, and so I'm really with these books trying to foster just a teeny bit of a love of reading. So this one I think will probably be one for the Africa unit that we are going to do. It'll be our second time through, and I'm very excited about the changes that I'm making. This one is also a quick read. So this one might be the assigned reader I give her for Africa. I'm not sure. I definitely picked ones that I thought she would feel less overwhelmed by, and so when they're thin like this, she tends to go, oh, okay, well, I can handle that. Max Tilt Enter the Core. This will be possibly a read aloud for rocks and minerals. It's hard to find books or novels about rocks and minerals, so I figured this one with the entering the core of the earth and stuff, there may be some of those, but read alouds are supposed to be fun and exciting, and so I am definitely wanting something like that. This one is Psych 101. We are doing Psychology in the Brain from Gather Round Homeschool. And so there's some books that I've been trying to find, you know, the Inkblot test, stuff like that. So again, I picked words that are books that weren't just for kids, because if we repeat them again, I wanted to have a good set of books for older children as well. This one, Outdoor School, Hiking and Camping. We actually enjoy doing some hiking. Camping, not so much, because I freeze to death all the time. But this one is going to be good for the North America National Parks Unit. There we go, brain is working. Rocks and minerals, obviously. Lots of just interesting projects that the kids can do. Again, early or late fall, early spring, I'm not sure which. Nebula's Secret, Exploring Academy. It's a story. And I'm just trying to remember which unit I got this one for. Yeah, I don't remember, but it has a point and a purpose, I am sure, somewhere. And it'll probably be either a read aloud or an assigned reader. Those are the ones that I struggle with so much when we're talking about science in particular. The Prince and the Pauper. This one will be definitely a read aloud for Renaissance. Again, wanting to pick things that were fun and inspiring and silly, and so this is one that I will do for that. And then Peter Ackroyd tells the history of the Tudors. So again, this is like hefty, thick books, but it also has pictures. And so for this year, it might be something that I let my Inara read. She's a proficient reader. I'm always looking for books that are age appropriate, but with history, I feel like there's some give and take. I will go through it just to make sure that there's nothing too usually when it comes to history, it can be really over the top where it's just this happened. And so I will definitely give this one, but it's a good thing for the kids to kind of look over and see. So Renaissance, I think Tudors were in the Renaissance or on that brink. We're doing medieval times now, so I don't feel like if she read it and there was some of that, it would be a big deal. Shakespeare and the Globe. So this one is more kid friendly, but I wanted to start introducing this to both of my daughters, and I felt like this would be a really good read aloud. Again, it's in between that time of medieval and Renaissance, but because he's an artist, I really wanted to take that in the more Renaissance time frame. The Riddle of the Rosetta Stone, Key to Ancient Africa. So this will be for our Africa unit. Again, I'm doing it again, so I'm taking it in a different direction, less about animals and geography and more in the direction of the people and the history. This one, Life from Above. I'm just trying to remember. Again, sometimes you go through and you put things in your carts, and I think this was about more people migration, and so it's Africa, it's rocks and minerals. It's going to be one of those coffee table books, that's the word, that I think I'm just going to enjoy having for a whole bunch of purposes. All right. Before Columbus, the Americas of the 1491s. This one I got not specifically regarding the units that I'm doing right now, but because there are a bunch of things that we read about Columbus that changed even my perspective of what I learned in school. We learned the little poem, and it was just, okay, wow, that was a totally different story than what I had been told. And so I've been really trying to make sure that the things that I grew up with learning, I'm not repeating just based on this was what I learned in school, and more, these are the facts. This is what this looked like. And so that's why I got this book. Leonardo da Vinci. I'm an artist, and so I really admire him for a bunch of different reasons. But this one has lots of beautiful pictures. This one talks about some of the things that he painted. Oh, there's Mona Lisa, which, I mean, it's about that size in the Louvre. And so it has lots of interesting information and stuff, but I just wanted it for Renaissance. Journey to the Center of the Earth. This is one of those classic books that may be a read aloud I read. It might be something that I give to my daughter as a read aloud. She loves watching the movie, like the really old movie that was made about this, but I thought Rocks and Minerals, that's a good one. Michelangelo. I'm really excited about one of the projects that we're going to do for the Renaissance is the Michelangelo, but they're going to be painting a picture with paper placed under a chair and lying on their back painting a picture. I thought that was such a great way to show what it would have been like for him to paint the Sistine Chapel. But there's beautiful pictures in this as well. Be adorable. And then I also, again, it's a hefty book, and so I knew that this would be one that we would be able to take down or take long term. This one, The Autistic Brain, Temple Grandin. This one is for my own purposes. Mr. Darian and I are going through the journey of helping him learn how to communicate better, have conversations. And so I really wanted to take this book and read it myself. And yeah, that was a good buy. Okay, another comic book for Miss Ceana, Gulliver's Travels. I don't know if it'll go with any of the units. I thought it might go with Renaissance. We'll see. He kind of has that kind of outfit on, but we'll see. It was just, again, wanting a book that she feels comfortable with and not afraid of. Food-related stories. So this book is going to be for our farming and food unit. I have a few. It's a pocket change collective, so it might be something that I end up reading as a read aloud. I'm not sure, but it's kind of a fun one. And again, it might be less, depending on what the stories are like. It could be an assigned reader for Miss Ceana. Oh, this one's a hefty book. But again, this is Aramis, Luther, and the Fight for the Western Mind. Again, it's edging on medieval times and Renaissance, but I figured it's a good one to have and a good one for discussion. There's paintings and stuff in here. Lots of things that we can talk about and discuss. And yeah, I'm excited for this one as well. I told you this was long. I got like 3 boxes and I've been through 1.5. This is also another one. I figured this one could be good for Ceana for North America, northern parks. No, that's not it. I don't know. It's for the parks one. I told you about it already, but my brain is not remembering. So I thought this one might be good, even though I think this is being in, I want to say maybe possibly China or in one of those places, not North America. It's still talking about being out in the woods and surviving and that sort of thing. So I thought that one might be a good one for Ceana. This one, this is either going to be an assigned reader or for Ceana when it comes to, or read aloud, excuse me, not for Ceana, because it is a proper chapter book and I think she would be nervous about, but it's talking about the brain. I thought this would be fun as a read aloud when we're doing psychology, and so I got that one. Another one for the psychology unit. This one is a little less, but it's got some pictures, so this one might be one. We'll see. I have to usually look them over and see how she's feeling about reading again. All right, this one, Sugarcane Changed the World. So this one will be for Africa unit and also for probably farming and food. So it's nice when they kind of cross over into two units that we're doing. But we've talked about slavery and we've talked about those sorts of things. But again, wanting to really dive deep and make sure that we understand the sin that was happening and not some of the other things that get brought up. So, the art of the Renaissance, artists and patrons in the Eternal City. So again, this one's going to be great for conversation about the Renaissance. All right, this one, rocks and minerals. See, isn't that great? So I usually take the titles of the units that we're doing from Gather Round. I just plug them in and I look through all that is brought up, and it's usually sometimes right on the money. But this one also has tons and tons of pictures with information beside about what we're talking about, what we're looking at. And so this one's going to be really like right on the money as far as that goes. Bear Grylls Adventures, the Volcano Challenge. This one, again, probably it might be one that I give to Ceana. It has actually quite a lot of things like that, but this one will be for rocks and minerals because lots of rocks and minerals come out of volcanoes. This one, who was the warrior of France, Joan of Arc? So this one, again, it kind of falls in the medieval times, Renaissance, but this one will be for Ceana because it is a comic book style book, which she feels much more comfortable doing. 7.5 lessons about the brain. So this one might be a read aloud, but we're talking about psychology. Another one that may be a read aloud, but might be given to Ceana because it's called Amethyst. Again, rocks and minerals. Is really trying to find her books. Goddess Girls, Athena the Brain. Again, possibly one for the brain unit, psychology unit. And it's not a super over the top one. Like there's no pictures in this one, but there's lots and lots of space for that. All right. This one, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Another one of the ones that I have wanted for a while, but because we're doing Africa again, I wanted, again, to focus more on the people. So I'm really pumped about that one. Three Musketeers. Again, it's another graphic novel for Ceana. Inara loves reading them as well, which is nice, and then I can always transition them to Darian eventually. But this one is one that, again, I'm like Renaissance time frame. Yeah. All right. How Science Taught Leonardo How to Paint. So again, Renaissance. You can see that I am all good about getting books about painting. I have no idea why, but he's got lots of pictures in here. I'm just trying to find you a good one because that one's kind of clear. But yeah, no, lots of awesome books to read and have in our collection for long term. My Life with Chimpanzees, Jane Goodall. Again, I thought this one might be a good one to read for North America national parks. I know she wasn't there, but it's about survival and it's about noticing your surroundings and recognizing animal behaviors. So I thought that one might be a good one to have. And then The Practical Geologist. Again, lots of amazing pictures. So I'm excited about that. So that is box number 2. I made this all in one unit or one purchase, and it always just makes me laugh how they come in like hundreds of boxes. I think there was like 5 and I broke it down to like 3. All right. So because we're doing Africa, I had done a study with somebody. Oh no, it was Simply Charlotte Mason, and she was talking about books on Africa, African history. This one was one she talked about in Egypt, the Golden Goblet, and I will definitely be reading this as a read aloud. The Violinist by Sam Keane. This one is for me. There's some times where I need to read a book, and I was hearing it from somebody, probably someone online, and I don't remember who it was, but I was like, yeah, that sounds like one I need to get for myself, and so I did. The Secret Garden. It's a retelling of the story, except this is a girl who goes to America and has to do, it's The Secret Garden on 81st Street. And so this one is also for Ceana. Yeah, a modern retelling of The Secret Garden. So that is for her. Hey, monkey. All right, this one, Stepping Stones. Definitely farming and food. We will be talking about that. I have a bunch of, because we're doing oh gosh, what is it called? The garden botany. I think it's the botany unit. I can't remember what it was called, but I think it's the botany unit, yes, from Gather Around Homeschool. So I have a bunch of books that are going to go into this grouping, but this one is probably going to be for Ceana because it's a graphic novel again. This one, Survival Hacks. So this one will probably be for the North America National Parks. Why couldn't I remember national parks? So that will be for that book, or that unit. Brain Bending Basics, Murderous Maths. And so this one will be for our psychology unit, just because it's going to be sometimes fun to have little stories, probably for a read aloud. There are some graphic novel type things in there. Leonardo's Art Workshop. Event creates and makes STEAM projects like a genius. So again, I'm always trying to come up with ways for me to hit on the science experiment side of things, and I'm always falling down on that. It's like one of my weakest points of our homeschool. I just find it so difficult to actually make happen, and so this one is something that they can do themselves and have fun with, and I'm just excited to see what they do with that. But that's definitely for the Renaissance, as is this. So this one is actually a sketchbook, which is awesome for mommy, but you're practicing some of the drawings that he did. I don't know if I will have the girls quite right in this book just yet, but I know that mommy might. A self-portrait, so yeah, he's not shied away from telling the telltale traits of old age. Yeah, I love that. I think that's going to be fun. I got another Bear Grylls Adventures, the Desert Challenge. So again, I think that will be for Rocks and Minerals. Might be a read aloud, might be for an assigned reader. This one, Pixie Pushes On. This will be for the farming and food unit. farming and food unit because it's talking about during the Depression era and how this little girl has to deal with that, and with her family having to handle that. This one is obviously for the brain, the beautiful brain, and it's another coffee table book with lots of pictures. So I'm excited about that one. Put that down there. Another one for the National Parks Unit, Park Scientists, and in America's Own Backyard. So this one's a little bit more on point with that particular unit. I also have like books from units that I've done in the past that I can add in. So if you see someone like the Renaissance, I didn't have anything, but I do have some for farming and food and North America and that sort of thing. The Magnificent Migration, so this will be for Africa unit. Again, just lots and lots of beautiful pictures, and I'm so excited about the information inside of it. But with this one, it was like I couldn't not get it, because even though I'm going more history oriented and people oriented, the migration does affect people as well. So that is another one that I got. The Art of the Western World, from Ancient Greece to Postmodernism. So another art heavy one, and they just have tons of information on things, and we'll be able to really focus in on whatever stage of history we're doing. Lifeboat 12. Now, if you asked me why I got this one, I think I read it, the synopsis, and thought this would be good for something in particular. Right now, I cannot remember what it is. Oh, it's because it's poetry. It's poetry. So again, one of those things where I think there was something about the history of slaves being put on a boat, and there was some poetry about that. The Dust Bowl, another farming and food one. I think this one I was getting for Miss Ceana because it's an easy read or read aloud. Last one. Outdoor School, Rocks, Fossils, Shells, Hunting. So this is obviously for the Rocks and Mineral unit. So I am so pumped and excited about, the books that I've got for next year, September 2023-2024 school year. I hope that you have enjoyed this very long video, but there's something about brand new books and the learning that is in this huge pile that I am excited to share with my kids and have on our shelves for a long time, so that they have references and stuff for any time that they want to learn something. So I hope that this has been an enjoyable video and not like, oh my goodness, how much did you spend? I only spent about $400 on all of these books, and I feel like that is a deal of a lifetime. And yeah, please check out Bookoutlet.ca. For all of your book needs. It's already heavily discounted, and then if you're like me and you need to have these in your house for a while so you can think about how you're going to teach your kids, then this is an epic, awesome way to do it, to get even more off by buying just after Christmas. So I hope that this has been a helpful video, that you've enjoyed it. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.